In this video, you're going to learn how you can build a chatbot with a single prompt. You will learn how you can train your chatbot on any data that you want, which can be files as well as websites. And I'm also going to show you how you can make the chatbot book appointments for you, as well as collect leads by offering a 10% discount to anyone who is chatting with the chatbot. All right, so the chatbot is going to look like this. You can see we have some starting messages, as well as some nudges for the user. And I'm also going to show you this 10% discount over here, which is automatically going to collect the data from our user and then send it over to our CRM system, and afterwards send a receipt in a form of a confirmation email. The example we are going to be working with is going to be this website. This is a dental office located in Germany, in Berlin. And let's assume that this would be our use case. So we are going to be building a chatbot that is going to encourage people to book appointments, as well as get a 10% discount for our service. All right, so the first thing you want to do is to go in the first link in the description down below, and you're going to find the link for this software called Stammer, and it's going to allow you to build chatbots with a single base prompt. So you don't have to worry about the complicated workflows that you might have seen in VoiceFlow or BotPress. The great thing about Stammer is that it allows you to build the chatbot, but you are also going to be able to white label it and offer it as a service to other businesses. And so then as an agency, as you can see here, you are able to create sub-accounts for those specific businesses. They can log in, they can manage their chatbots, but most importantly, you can create different packages for different companies. They can pay you monthly retainer. So for example, you have the option to create different subscription packages, but also additional chatbots packages that are going to work as an upsell, as well as additional credits packages if the business that you are creating the chatbot for wants to get more credits. You can change the logo as well as the domain where the businesses are going to go, log in and see their chatbots. All right, so that's a very quick overview of what Stammer is. There's much more. And so if you are interested, definitely subscribe down below because I'm going to make more tutorials on Stammer. All right, so the first thing you want to do is to navigate to Chatbot and My Chatbots. Here you want to create a new chatbot. I have already created one. So I'm going to edit it and I'm going to guide you step by step how you can create the chatbot. So the first thing is that you are going to be in the section called update. And in this part, you want to name your chatbot. You then have the option to show a different name if you want for the user who is going to interact with the chatbot. So in this case, I put the same name, but the real first thing you want to do is to go ahead and set up your initial messages. So if I go to my dashboard, you can see that the initial messages are going to be these ones. And so these are going to be messages that are going to appear first when the user opens the chatbot. If you want to show them separately as 3 different messages, you want to put each message on a new line. So in this case, I have the first message over here, then I have the second one over here, and then on the last line, I put the third message. Initial messages, pop-up delay. I'm going to keep this on the default, you can as well, but this is going to allow you to set up if you want the messages to show immediately, which in this case, they are going to show immediately because this is a negative value, or you can set it up to any number, which is going to be the number of seconds after which you want to see the 3 messages to show up. Next, this is again optional, but I'm going to show you as much as possible in one video. In this case, you want to set up what I call the nudges or the helpful bubbles. These are basically the suggested messages that are going to prompt the user to start the conversation if they don't know what to do. And so if I go to my chatbot in my dashboard, you can see that I have 4 different ones over here. And then we have something called base system prompt. This is basically the single prompt that is going to train the chatbot to know how to interact with the user. So this is why I called it one prompt AI chatbot, because you literally need to set up one prompt and then train the chatbot on certain data that you choose, and then you are good to go. You don't have to set up any other workflows, or you don't have to set up any other rules how the chatbot is going to work as you do in, for example, VoiceFlow or BotPress. So as you can see, you can pause the video and read the prompt. I'm not going to read it through, but simply what I'm doing here is that I'm using different parameters to make it organized and really set the guidelines and the rules that the chatbot needs to know. If you want to know how you can write prompts like these, go and check out the first link in the description down below, where I put together a a totally free no junk resource where I show you how you can write prompts like these with different parameters, as you can see over here. So in this case, firstly, I'm setting up context, then I'm setting up more details for the chatbot to know what to do. In this case, I'm mentioning the 10% discount, as well as to always encourage the user who is chatting with the chatbot to go and schedule an appointment. And then I'm setting up a parameter called language. In this case, I'm saying that you can use either English or German, and it depends on the language that the user is using. In terms of style, I just wrote down very simply friendly. So definitely go and check out the 3P framework in the first link in the description down below. But there is another setting over here called show advanced settings. So if you click on that one, you can see that you can set up your model, which one you want to choose. In this case, you have GPT 3.5, then GPT 4, and then GPT 4 Turbo. All of them cost some credits, and depending on the package that you choose on Stammer, you're going to be having certain amount of credits that you can choose, but don't worry, you can always buy more if you want. If you are going to use the Stammer link down below, you're going to be able to get free credits as well as a free trial for 14 days. And then all the other settings, you can actually leave them as they are on the default option. Probably the most important thing here in the advanced settings is the model that you want to choose. All right, and then when you are done, you simply go and update the chatbot, and then you are going to be redirected to a second part, which is going to be training the chatbot on certain files or websites. If you don't know what knowledge base is, it's basically a database for the chatbot to pull out the information from. So in this case, you have different options like train the chatbot on text, files. In this case, this includes PDFs, text, and other documents such as Microsoft Word. And then we have website, where we are allowed to train the chatbot on all of the data that is going to be found on certain pages. So this is the case that we are going to be using for the Dental First Office. What you want to do is to give the home URL, and then what Stammer is going to do is to crawl the whole website, including all the pages that are starting with this page over here. You can decide on how many URLs you want to use. In this case, the default option is on 100, but if you only want to train the chatbot on the data on this specific page only, you can check this box over here, and then this one is going to allow you to scrape the data only from this home page over here. But in this case, we want to crawl the whole website, including all the pages. So you want to click on crawl website and fetch the data, and then you are going to see all the pages that are going to be found on this specific website. You then want to click on train the chatbot down here. As you can see, I have already done that. This sign over here, which says trained, this indicates that the website has been crawled, and all the text on that specific website is used for the chatbot as a knowledge base. All right, and then last option is Q&A. And so in this case, you can upload also a CSV file that is going to be in the form of question and answer, and you can train your chatbot like that as well. Next, we are going to go to leads. And this is going to be maybe a more advanced section, but I really wanted to show you what Stammer actually can do. In this case, you can see I have already set up two different fields. The first one is going to be full name and then the email address. Basically, in the leads part, you are able to let the chatbot decide whether it should collect the data for that specific user or not. In this case, because this is a little bit more advanced, you want to use GPT 4 instead of 3.5 Turbo. So in this case, what you want to do is to go to add field, and then you have these options over here. So the first one is that you want to choose from the predefined fields, or you can create your own. In this case, I use the email address as well as the full name. So I'm going to click on email address. Then everything is auto-populated for me, so I don't have to do anything. But the second thing you have to decide is that whether you want to collect the data in a form before starting the conversation with the chatbot or during the conversation. So in this case, I'm going to go with collect in chat during conversation. And then we are good to go. We have the field key, which is email, as well as the field label, which is email as well. And then you're good to go, and you can add the fields over here. I have also repeated the process for the full name. In this case, I again chose the during the conversation event, and then everything was auto-populated for me with the full name. The last thing is that we can actually send this over to Zapier, where we can collect the email address as well as the name, and then do whatever we want with other 5,000 apps. So here, what you want to do is to enable lead collection webhook. Basically, we're going to be using webhooks to send this data from Stammer to Zapier, so we can do whatever we want later on. You can also set up whether you want to receive an email notification whenever a new lead is generated. In this case, I didn't choose so, but if I check this box, I can put my email over here, and then I'm always going to be notified when a new lead is generated. But as you can see here, we need lead collection webhook URL. In this case, you can generate this directly on Zapier. So I'm going to show you right now how to do that. In this case, you want to start your trigger with an app called Webhooks by Zapier. You then want to choose catch the hook. We want to send the information from Stammer to Zapier. And so in Zapier, you can think about you are catching the information directly over here, so you can later on use it for whatever you want. So we're going to choose catch hook. Then we are going to continue. In this part, you don't have to fill out anything over here. As you can see, by default, Zapier is going to take care of it. So you then want to continue, and then you are going to be given a URL that you want to right now copy and paste directly inside Stammer. So you simply copy this URL over here. Then you want to paste it over here, and then everything is set up properly. So what you want to do is that you can also click over here, and then here you can see I have already done some tests. Basically here you can try whether the webhook is communicating with Zapier correctly. And when you click on the test webhook, it's going to send this test data containing email address john@company.com and see whether the webhook is set up properly. From the API, you want to get 200 as a response. 200 means that everything went smooth. All right, so right now we are done with all the major settings that we need to do. You can see you have many other options like scheduling over here, where you can connect your Google Calendar, Zoom, Outlook, and so on. And then in the conversations, you are going to be able to see all the previous conversations with the chat. And then in the appearance, you're going to be able to edit how the chatbot is going to look like on your website. So you can see here that you can change the colors as well as the font size. But in this case, I'm very happy how it looks like with the default option. And so right now we are going to test this, whether it works. So you want to go to your dashboard. And as you can see here, we have the 3 messages that we set up in our settings. And then we also have the nudges. And so I'm going to start with sign up for a 10% off. And as you can see, the chatbot is going to automatically know that it should start collecting leads. In this case, it writes, please provide me with your full name and email address so I can assist you further. So I am going to go and say Thomas Jerry. I'm going to write comma, and then I'm going to write my full email. And I'm going to send this over. And then as you can see, the chatbot was clever enough to recognize that this was my full name and then this was my email address. And we got the reply. You will receive a confirmation email shortly with details about your 10% discount. Don't forget to book your appointment with us. And then we also have the link that if I'm going to click on that, we are going to be automatically redirected to a page where we are able to book appointment. And this is because of our base prompt where we set up the rules for the chatbot to always encourage the person after each message to book appointment. And right now we can test it a little bit more. I'm going to write down what dental services do you offer, and based on the knowledge base, which includes all the pages on the website, it's going to be clever enough to answer this question. So as you can see here, we got a very nice list. At Dental First, we offer a range of dental services to cater to your needs. And once again, at the end, we got the encouragement to book appointment. All right, so how do we know that the full name and the email address was collected successfully? You can go actually and check that out over here. So we are going to go to leads. And then as you can see here, you have this button over here, view collected leads. You can see you can export all the leads that have been collected to a CSV. And as you can see here, this is the newest lead, which is having my full name as well as email as different variables. And so this one was actually right now sent automatically to Zapier, where we can actually use this data and send it over to our CRM system and then send the confirmation email that we tell the user that within a short period of time, they are going to automatically receive. So I'm going to right now show you how you can set that up. You want to go back to your Zapier, and when you started with your trigger over here, which is catching your data, you want to test this action. So I'm going to find new records. And as you can see here, we got the third one, which is the newest one. So we have our full name over here, as well as our email address. So for the test, I can choose whatever lead I want. So I'm going to choose this one and then continue with selected record. The first action after your trigger, you want to split your full name into the first name and last name. In the formatter by Zapier, you want to go and choose text as the event. You then want to continue. And then in the transform section, you want to go and search for split text. In the input, you want to go to your trigger, and then you want to go and find the lead data full name. The separator, you can leave this empty because on default, when you leave it empty, it's considering the separator as a space, which in this case is what we want. And then we have the last part, which is segment index. In this one, you want to choose all as separate fields. We are going to continue. And right now you can see when we tested this action, it separated it successfully into two variables, the first name and last name. I'm going to continue. And right now, as the second action, we want to send the collected data to a CRM system. In this case, I'm going to show you how you can send this over to Hubspot. And I'm going to show you how you can mark specifically that this lead is actually the one that was generated via the 10% discount. You want to go and search for create contact. We are going to continue. You want to obviously connect your Hubspot with Zapier. You can do it over here. I've already done that, so I'm going to continue. And right now you want to fill out all the necessary fields. In this case, you have many different fields that you can choose from in Hubspot. So I'm just going to use Control F, and then I'm going to search for first name. Here you want to go inside your formatter by Zapier and go and choose your first name over here. Then you have your last name over here. Once again, you go to formatter by Zapier and choose the last name. And then you have the contact information email. And here you want to go to your trigger, not to formatter by Zapier, and choose the field that stores the email address from our chatbot. You want to place it over here, and then you can send it over to Hubspot. But I want to teach you how you can actually mark this specific lead that it was generated via the 10% discount. So if I'm going to search for discount with Control F, you can see I have this field that you are not gonna have, and it's called discount. And in this case, it's a drop-down field, and it says yes or no, whether this lead has been generated via the discount or not. And so in this case, I want to set this up always to yes, because all the leads that are coming in this Zapier workflow are always going to be generated from the chatbot, encouraging people to get the 10% discount for our service. And so how you can set this up is very simple. You want to go to your Hubspot over here. In the right corner over here, you want to go to settings. And then on the left panel over here, under data management, you are going to find properties. And then you want to create property over here. I'm going to show you 3 screenshots because I have already done that. You want to simply create a new column that is going to be named discount. You can give it a description if you want. Then afterwards, you are going to set up what type of field it should be. In this case, you want to choose the drop-down field, and it's automatically going to give you 2 options, yes or no, so you don't have to fill out anything. And then lastly, in the third step, you just want to confirm, and then you are good to go. As I have told you, I have already done that, so I'm going to search for discount. And so in this case, you can see that I have this field over here called discount, and it's a single checkbox. After you have created your property, or AKA new column in Hubspot, you are going to be able to see it over here. But if you don't see it automatically over here, you want to scroll down and go to additional properties over here. As you can see, these are the properties or fields that are always going to be retrieved above. But because we have created a new one, you can also go and search for it over here. So if I go here and I go and search for discount, you can see we have our field over here, and it's named contact information discount. I can then choose this, and it's going to be added as a new field. You can also click on refresh fields, and then what this does is it's going to refresh all the fields above. And then when you go here inside these fields, you are going to be able to see a new field called discount. And so in this case, you want to set this up to yes, because every time the lead is generated, it's always going to be coming from the discount. And right now we are going to test this action, whether it works. So I'm going to test this step. All right, and we got a confirmation. A contact was sent to Hubspot about 1 second ago. If I go to my contacts over here, you can see we don't have the lead over here, but if I refresh the page, it should be there. And yeah, it worked. So you can see we have the new lead over here. It's Thomas Jerry. And then we also got the discount field over here, which basically classifies this lead that it came from the discount from the chatbot. If you don't see the discount over here, you simply want to go to edit columns. And then here you want to search for a discount. And then you want to check this box. And then you can simply also rearrange where you want to show the discount. All right, so we right now know that it sends data to Hubspot, but remember we told the user inside Chatbot that we will send them a confirmation receipt or confirmation email that their discount has been given to them. So we want to go ahead and continue. And for this, you can use any platform that you use. You can use Gmail, Outlook, or you can even use Email by Zapier, which allows you to just send confirmation emails like these ones. And so in this case, you want to go ahead and choose Email by Zapier. In the event section, you want to choose send outbound email. Now remember, you can use any other provider that you're using, maybe Gmail, Outlook, or maybe you're even using MailChimp and you want to automatically put the leads inside the newsletter campaign for that specific 10% discount. You have many different options, and that's why I love Zapier. So we are going to continue, and then here you want to set up the details. In this case, I'm going to send the email to the person who filled out the information inside the chatbot. So that email is stored inside our trigger over here under the lead data email. I'm going to place it over there. Then I'm going to write a quick subject line for the email. Here's your 10% discount at Dental First. And then I'm going to write a very nice email that is going to confirm that the user has been registered and they are given the 10% discount. So I'm writing down that they have been given the 10% discount. And then also I'm writing down this one, when exactly was the time that the person was registered for the discount. I can get that from the webhook as well. If I go to the webhook over here, you can see we have the exact time when the lead was collected. And so I'm going to place it there to just make it more credible. And then you can use this email as a receipt if you are asked to do so. So whenever someone is going to say, okay, can you show me that you have registered for this? The user is going to be then able to show you this email as a receipt. We are looking forward to seeing you. And then also a signature over here. If you want, you can add the attachment, so you can create a PNG or PDF file of that discount voucher and put it over here. I haven't done that, so I'm going to leave it empty. And then from name, I'm going to write down Dental First. And then all the other settings you can leave on default. And we are going to continue. And then we are going to test this whether it works and sends the email. So I'm going to test this step. The email was sent about 1 second ago. So if I go to my email, yeah, it worked. The first one is from Dental First. Here's your 10% discount at Dental First. If I click on that one, you can see we got the confirmation email with the exact time. Now remember, you can use any other provider such as Gmail or Outlook, or even other newsletter options such as MailChimp, because you are inside Zapier, which allows you to connect with 5,000 apps. Now the last thing is that you want to embed this chatbot on a website, obviously. So in this case, it would be for the Dental First website. And so here you want to go to dashboard and then click on get embeddable code. You can see you have two different options. Firstly, you have something called iframe. Iframe basically means that you are able to embed the chatbot on a full screen mode. So let's say you have a specific page and you want the chatbot to automatically show up in a full screen mode in a similar way how you can see it over here in this preview. And then the second option is the small bubble in the corner. This one is a code that you want to put inside the body of your website. And so I'm quickly going to show you how you can do that. I'm going to copy this one. In this case, I'm using WordPress. So if I go to my website over here, you can see we don't have any chat bubble in the right corner. So what you want to do inside WordPress is to install a plugin. It's called VP Headers and Footers. I'm going to click on that one. And then here you can see that we have the option to insert codes. We have the header, we have also the footer, but we also have the body option over here. And that is exactly where you want to place the code. So I'm going to paste it over here under my Google Tag Manager. I'm going to go and save the changes. And then if I go to my website right now, we should see a chat bubble. And yeah, it works. So we right now have the chat bubble over here. So if I click on that one, you can see we have a fully functioning chatbot embedded directly on our website over here. And so right now you can start collecting leads as well as giving 10% discount to anyone who is chatting with you on this specific chatbot. Now, if you want to embed this as a full screen mode, what you want to do is to go ahead and depending on what builder you are using, I'm using Elementor over here. You want to embed the code on that page where you want to show the full screen mode of that specific chatbot. So once again, I'm going to go to Stammer and I'm going to use the first link right now. And in this case, I'm going to search for code HTML and I'm just going to drag and drop it over here. And then you can see I can insert my code over here. So I'm going to place it there. And as you can see, the chatbot is embedded on my website in the full screen mode. All right, I hope this was helpful. And so if you want to go and try Stammer completely for free, you can go ahead and click on the link in the description down below. You're going to get some free credits as well as free trial. So make sure to take advantage of that. Now, once again, this is a white label solution. So you are able to create these chatbots and then basically lease them out to any business for a subscription fee, also called retainer. And so then you can manage everything directly with Stammer, all the subscription, chatbots, as well as payments that are directly going to go to your Stripe account on a regular basis each month. Don't forget to check out the 3P framework that I put together totally for free, no junk. And you can find it in the first link in the description, along with the Stammer link where you can find free credits as well as free trial. I'm going to make more tutorials on Stammer, so make sure to subscribe down below as well if you're interested. And if you enjoyed this video, I believe that you are also going to enjoy this video over here that you can see right now on your screen. Thank you so much and have a great day.